Welcome, traveller. Have your days fared harsh? Sit, warm yourself by the fire. Allow me to regale you with a story. Wrong way. A man donned in thick leather pants with a clanking chainmail shirt wanders down a natural forest path. Insects buzz, birds chirp, and leaves rustle all around. A breeze, gentle and warm, brushes past, carrying with it the thick scent of dirt and moss. The man glances to his left with dark, mud-brown eyes. He reaches up and rubs a hand across his 3-day-old stubble. "Sally, you're sure this is the right way?" he asks with a poking tone as his bald head glistens against an afternoon sun. A woman next to him wearing studded leather armor cocks an eyebrow as she pulls her thin lips taut while whipping her long blonde hair to the side. Her piercing icy blue eyes stab at him as she speaks. "Why are you doubting me, Ren?" she offers with a haughty tone. "I'm not. I'm just making sure you know where we're going," Ren offers with rising eyebrows as he pushes his lower lip into his upper one. "Yeah, right." She scoffs as she rolls her eyes. She jerks her shoulders in a shrug, causing a small backpack to shuffle against her. "Alright, look," Ren offers with a flattening tone. "The last time we got lost, I nearly lost my leg. So, pardon me for wanting to make sure." "Yes," Sally snaps as she clenches her hands into 2 tight fists. "Stop questioning me. If I lose my leg, I'm taking one of yours as payment, aye?" Ren offers with a lacking tone as he stares forth with a half-lidded stare. "Whatever." Sally looks over to Ren, rolling her eyes so far back they become white for a full 3 seconds before she turns away with a scoff. Ren shakes his head. "Mature." The two continue walking down the path for the next 5 minutes before it leads towards a rocky outcrop. It bears an opening that digs into the ground, creating an open tunnel 5 feet wide. "Here," Sally points with a snap of her fingers before crossing her arms and leaning on her hip. "Down there," Ren offers as he takes a few steps forward, coming to the edge of the tunnel's entrance. He peers down his awaiting maw. The tunnel descends 10 feet down and ends 10 feet above a cavern floor. Light barely reaches the cavern's interior. "Here," Ren raises his eyebrows while pointing down the tunnel. Sally takes a deep breath before releasing as a slow and steady sigh. Ren scrunches the left side of his lip as he stares at Sally with a half-lidded stare. "You go first, then." "Gods, no," Sally scoffs. "I'm not crawling into that dirty tunnel. I just bathed this morning." Ren's eyes widen as he speaks with a rising tone. "And I didn't." "What's a little bit more dirt?" Sally's eyes narrow. "You're disgusting enough as is." "Go to hell," Ren remarks with the following grunt as he begins climbing down the tunnel, sending a narrowed-eyed stare towards Sally as he continues down. Sally scoffs as she turns around and begins scanning the area with a wandering gaze. An uneventful 15 minutes pass before shuffling near the tunnel's entrance draws Sally's attention. Ren calls out from within the tunnel. Sally, it's here!" he exclaims with a rising tone. Sally hurriedly steps over to the tunnel, peering into its depths with wide eyes. Ren stands shrouded in shadows, though his head peeks above the sea of darkness within. "The gem's here!" he grins as his eyebrows rise. "Well," Sally snaps with a hurried tone, "go get it! I need your help removing it." Ren's grin quickly morphs into a frown as his brows subtly furrow. "Tell me this is one of your stupid jokes." Sally's eyes flutter as she rolls them. "Come on, we could have tailors on our ass." Ren disappears into the shrouding darkness with quick-paced steps. "I," Sally growls under her breath as she begins climbing down. "Hate." She squirms her way down 10 feet to the end of the tunnel and allows herself to drop into the cavern with a soft thump. "This," she coughs as a small spray of dust scatters around. "Sally, over here," Ren calls out as he stands 15 feet away next to a faintly glowing purple gemstone that appears embedded into the cavern wall. The light of the gem barely illuminates Ren's face as he raises his eyebrows with a wide grin. Sally scoffs as she drops her backpack to the ground with a soft thump and begins rummaging through it. Ren calls out, "Would you light a torch too?" "Sure, Ren," Sally snaps as she withdraws a hand-sized pickaxe, a cloth-wrapped torch, and small pieces of flint and steel. "Want me to carry you on our way back too?" She tosses the pickaxe into the darkness towards Ren, causing the steel to clank and echo before coming to a stop a second later. "Mature," Ren remarks with a flat tone. Sally rolls her eyes as she strikes the torch with small sparks, causing it to roar to life. She rises and turns towards Ren as her torch's light spreads throughout the cavern. Her eyes widen as she sucks in a sudden breath. A cold chill flings itself up her spine. Ren shrugs with a glistening stares from the stomach down. His body appears torn off, leaving barely attached scraps of bloody flesh and hanging intestines that gently swing. Extending out from within his torn body lies a black, 2-foot-thick tentacle with bulbous crimson-red sacs that seem to pulse with each passing second. The tentacle extends back into the cavern, coming from a cave that delves deeper underground. "Ren?" Selly stutters as she takes a rapid step back. She flings her gaze around the cavern, noticing it lies no bigger than a 20 by 20 foot area with only 2 passages, one above and one ahead. Ren cocks an eyebrow. "This wasn't the right way." Selly lets forth a bloody scream as she flings herself against the wall in an attempt to climb towards the entrance. A pressure wraps around her left ankle, and, with a sudden jerk, drags her shrieking into the consuming darkness.